Well, I mean, I guess it's like a Spanish thing, because like
Hmm.
Darking was telling me that P and B are like the same.
It's like 5 and 6.
It's like, yeah, exactly. They use their own numerals there. And speaking of numerals, we are now in semifinales número uno. Gonna be starting things off on Exido EE. EE standing, of course, for early entrance. In the top right hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right hand corner of the map, we have the Reds player coming down from the land of, at first, Colombia, but then Chile. He is going to be representing Alpha X LatAm division. We have El Muerto himself, eGGz.
Did you just try to say El Envuelto?
That's what I said, El Muerto.
Spawning in. That's a different word that you said, by the way. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE. We have the Street Fighter himself, El Condor. He is the blue Zerg player representing the land of Italia as well as Peru. It is Ryu.
And we talk a bit about these stylistic plays coming out from the LatAm players. eGGz, he is. I don't want to say he's not as stylistic, but when I think of eGGz, I think more of a. I think of him as more of the player who is a bit more reactive, shall we say? My impression could be totally wrong. I'm basing this off of like months ago, but that is my impression.
No, yeah, 100%. Like, Yoda and I have actually discussed this quite a bit when it comes to the prominent Zerg players in the region, and we look at someone like Jim who loves going mutas, someone like Ryu who loves going Hydra, someone like the Zerg Lord who's a lot more aggressive, and we saw, goes for these big 2-base all-ins and Niduses. eGGz, he's more of the well-rounded player. Like, he's the kind of player who can do all three of those things. Exactly. He is just like an egg.
Or El Muerto, as the Zerg cocoons are apparently what he based his name off of.
Yeah. This is accurate. These are facts.
I like how basically everyone in StarCraft was calling it, and we're calling them eGGz until we finally looked into it and it was like, oh, they're actually cocoons.
They are cocoons. Yeah, there was a bit of controversy surrounding that, when we found that out, and we funated eGGz a little bit for that. But yeah, it is pretty cool that he does have those origins. Meanwhile, Ryu did go for a faster third base eGGz. I'm surprised he has opted not to go for his own.
No, he has not. Instead, going for 2 Evo chambers? He is walling off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he be walling off. And this is the big thing about eGGz. Like, we talk about it. What is he going to be going for? Because previously we saw the Zerg Lord go for 2-base Nidus on this map, and it didn't quite work. But eGGz, like, he's not confined to that playstyle. Like, he doesn't have to do that if he doesn't want to. We'll see what exactly he decides to go for off of 2 bases.
That we will have to see. Going for the Roach Warren as well as the +1 range. I'm getting some major deja vu here. Like, I was hoping it'd be something a little bit different, but yeah, for now it looks to be about the same. And we've seen how Ryu was able to defend against those type of plays, but will that even come in? Apparently it will, because yeah, the defenses are just a little too tight here for El Huevo.
And look, El Huevo is even overreacting a little bit. He throws down a secondary Evo chamber. He was getting ready to wall off with that drone as well in case that queen went down, forced to cancel because there wasn't a big commitment from Ryu. And just like last time, we have +1 on the way and that Roach Warren.
Indeed we do. And that's really going to be helping out the defense of Ryu that much more. Lair has finished up here for eGGz. Galactic Constitution is on the way. We don't see a Nidus quite yet.
Exactly, that's the difference.
Two-base push.
Yeah, that's the difference between Eggs and the Zerg Lord. The Zerg Lord, he didn't go for Galactic Constitution. He went for the Nidus instead. This time, Eggs didn't go for the Nidus. He went for Roach Speed. So this is a little bit less all in. It doesn't mean he will have a stronger Roach army, and it looks like he wants to utilize that to defend and expand.
Yeah, surprisingly, I don't know why. What prompted him to really go for this really safe economic style, or not even economic, because he's behind in the base count, the mineral income. But yeah, Eggs just does not want to waste his gas, I guess, going for that Nidus.
Yeah, I love this, to be fair, because Eggs, he may be behind in terms of the worker count, he's behind in terms of the bases, but what he's ahead in is his upgrades. He's working on double upgrades at the same time. +1 is already done, he's got +2 on the way, he's got +1 carapace, he's got Roach Speed. Like, he's gonna be well ahead in terms of, like, the overall force of his army.
That he definitely will. Galactic Constitution has finished up here for Eggs quite some time ago. Ryu's still waiting for it to come in, and this really allows Eggs to have the ability to kite the roaches of Ryu. He has to be careful. Okay, back it away, as once you go into that third base, you really don't have an exit point. Going in for a bit of a scout with these roaches and trying to target fire as many drones as he can. Gets a couple.
Yeah, you know, for 3 roaches, he's able to get 4 drones at the same time. There was this Ling run by as well. Ryu able to counterattack and kill 4 drones of Eggs.
And break it even. That's pretty much how it is. But Eggs is starting to equalize on the worker count slowly but surely. He's not that far behind. Continuing to pump out roaches though. So he absolutely wants to use his upgrade advantage as soon as he can.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this could be the downfall of Ryu. Like, part of me loves that he's been utilizing these dropper lords every single ZvZ that we've seen, but because of this, it also means that his main army is going to be weaker in more ways than one. Like, he already has the upgrade disadvantage, and now he's going to have the numbers disadvantage because he's sending some supply out across the map. So we'll see if he's able to hold on with these spines as Eggs is looking to apply some pressure.
That he is. I think he sees the dropper lords as well. That's going to be a bit of a tip-off. Remember, dropper lording these, or dropping these roaches only really works if you have a multi-prong ready. Because otherwise, your Zerg opponent is going to have the defender's advantage, going to be able to just pump out a couple of units of their own.
You didn't notice.
You know, he didn't notice.
Oh,
he didn't notice. He didn't notice light.
Oh my god, the roaches, they get dropped into the main base. There's nothing here to defend. A couple of roaches do pop out of the eggs, but you know what? The queen went down, and now a couple of these drones are going to be going down as well. They get picked back up, and Eggs, he all army hockeys. Yeah, he brings everything back home.
No, Eggs! You split your army, dude. This is exactly what we wanted to happen.
Oh my god.
Man, is it paying off?
Exactly, because Eggs brought everything back home. Now his third base is exploding, gets biled a little bit, but Eggs is able to recompose himself. He does split up his army. He is able to defend his bases.
That League of Legends training really paying off. We're gonna have to thank Mabels after this.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see how this series is gonna go, because again, Eggs, he ends up losing his main army here. Like, he overextended a little bit, attacked too much.
Yeah, overextending quite a bit, ran right into the concave of Ryu. And seems to have misrallied a little bit as well. I'm not sure where these roaches coming from the side. It looks like the tides are finally going to be turning to Eggs' favor, but is that going to be enough in the long run?
That's the big question, because at the same time, we did have roaches being dropped in the main base, in the natural, but you know what? This time, Eggs was ready. He only lost 3 drones, and bearing in mind, Eggs does have the upgrade advantage. Like, he is ahead in those upgrades, so he was able to take that fight despite having the lower supply. But now we do have the defender's advantage kicking in for Ryu.
It is, but he's still trying to fight up this ramp. He is still down a couple of upgrades. Reinforcements really coming in, and Ryu will have to back away into spine range. Oh, is this a bit too much of an overextension for Eggs? Let's find out.
Oh, let's find out.
With reinforcing roaches.
Yeah, we do have a couple more spines joining the fray. We could have a couple of queens, but the queens, they don't come in. You know what? Because Ryu doesn't need them. He is able to just barely hold on with his roaches and with his spine.
Yeah, great concave coming in the end there with those reinforcing roaches. Eggs really wants to try to force Ryu into that choke point, but Ryu, he's well aware. He is El Condor Pasa.
Exactly. He's got them eyes like a condor. He doesn't fall for it. He sees what eGGz is trying to do, and he doesn't fall for it. He's able to hold on here, expanding, taking a fourth base. eGGz, he is still stuck on these 3 bases, barely saturated.
He really is. eGGz, he's got to do some big damage soon. Otherwise, he's just going to be miles ahead.
Oh, yeah.
So just meters ahead. Please see these drop alerts right now.
Oh, God. We'll see. We'll see if eGGz even has the supply to spare, because you know what? He fights, and
that's going to be it. GG is called. And Ryu going to take game number 1. He's back in it, Light. Ryu is back in it.
He is back. He is back from the Rona. He is back from his break. You know, he has his new metallic arm, and he is able to take the first game against eGGz.
Very nicely done here. I do feel like eGGz was probably, so far anyway, the toughest opponent that Ryu has gotten. Because again, he's just that well-rounded sort of reactive player. He knew well, not always, but he knew in general what Ryu was going to go for, and he just adjusted accordingly. But in the end, Ryu, he's the Winter Soldier.
He is the Winter Soldier, and again, like, this is during the downtime period. Like, eGGz at his peak, he goes back and forth, looking quite even dominant over Ryu, but again, he hasn't been playing StarCraft as much. Ryu, he has been committed to the game, and we'll see if eGGz is able to bring it back here. We'll see if he is able to find a way to incorporate those skills that he was able to acquire in that Age of Empires.
It's all about composure. Speaking of eGGz, can you hear this?
Is that an egg?
That's a bagel.
What does that have to do with that?
No, I just wanted to point out that I left my bagel on my table, and it became hard.
Just like Mabel.
And just like... How does that... Wait, how does that work in?
It rhymed. Bagel, table, Mabel.
On the... Are you able to? Yes! We spawn now into Muerto Hora. Where A-L-E. We're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner map. We have the Reds player coming down from the land of Peru and also the land of El Italian. We have the teamless player, El Condor Pasa himself. He is Ryu.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have El Colombiano, we have El Chileno, question mark, we have hailing from the land of Colombia, residing in Chile, representing himself, this time not going for as aggressive of an opener, we have eGGz.
All right. Well, both of them really respecting one another here on Death Aura. Just yeah, they don't want those speed zones, or not even those speed zones. Those, how would you describe them? Like when you go around the flings, right?
Around town.
Yeah, when you go around town, you make your way.
Yeah.
You walk fast with your links.
Moving past with when you're homebound.
Yeah. That's what.
Did you know that Milk and I sang that last weekend when we were casting?
So, all right. So
I did the week before that with Yoda as well. I did.
So basically, that song is the reign of Sentimiento Latino.
Yes.
Gets brought up. You just don't know when.
Ta-na-na-na-na-na.
And I miss you.
Ta-na-na-na-na-na.
And I kissed you? Is that the lyric?
And
Walking.
now I won.
And now I'm...
Oh god.
And so does eGGz's Lings trying to come in here for a scout. We're gonna get DMCA takedown.
Oh, gonna get all the DMCAs as we do have these 4 Lings. They were able to sneak around the corners of the, around the center of the map, and sure, they avoided the overlords of Ryu, but Ryu, he had 6 Lings at home. He was able to defend.
Yeah, that really is a disadvantage of going around that way. It does just take more time. Also considered, eGGz able to scout the Bailing Nest coming out from Ryu. But the unfortunate part is he doesn't know if that's a defensive Bailing Nest or if it's an aggressive one. Either way, eGGz is more than likely going to be, not taking his chances. He's going to be taking this seriously.
Oh yeah, definitely. And on a map like Death War, you do need a couple less buildings to wall off, and that's exactly what he does. But you know what? Lings are coming across the map. We do have 2 Banelings morphing in as well, and nothing but Lings to reinforce.
There was no transfuse energy available on that Queen. eGGz already gonna be losing one. A lot of Lings right now, but again, Death War, a small, choky map. eGGz really has to be careful not to take too many Bailing hits. All right, decent snipe. Another Queen going down, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it in the end.
Exactly. 2 Queens went down, and you know what? No juicy connections with those Bailings. Both Bailings were able to be sniped, but you know what? At the cost of these Queens. And I'm so surprised Ryu, he's not joining up behind this. He's making nothing but Lings.
That he is even going for that evolution chamber just so he can get some upgrades out. He has had enough. He's had enough. And he wants this to be over.
He's like, you know what? Every single goddamn game, I'm the defender. Like all these aggressive Zerg players, nah, mate. This time, I'm applying the pressure. And you know what? Behind this, he got a 3rd base for that extra larva. eGGz, he's still on 2 bases. There are so many Banelings here.
Indeed, there are. eGGz is gonna have the most perfect splits of his life with these Lings. But he is transitioning to Roaches, and again, if Roaches get caught and surrounded by Zerglings, not exactly what you want, but when you're able to utilize them in a choke point or even just to soak up some Bailing hits, they can be invaluable.
Oh yeah,
in the defense.
Definitely. So because of this map, because of the terrain and how this turns out, like eGGz, he should be able to defend here on 2 bases. But I mean, he does kind of forfeit map control. Like Ryu, he's on 3. Like he's a little bit free to drone up and catch up in terms of that roach count.
Yeah, really loving the decision making coming out from Ryu. He tried to go for this big all in, but once he realized, you know what, I'm not going to be able to break you, and I'm also ahead, and you're not going to be getting your expansion for a while. May as well just play this out as a macro game. Unfortunately, because I want this game to be different, because I'm always a macro player.
Yeah.
I did not play macro this time, but you forced me to.
It's been a little bit rough from Ryu. You know, he wants to be the aggressor. He doesn't want these long drawn out games. That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, we'll see, because eGGz, he still has not gone for an expansion. He is just banking up that roach count, waiting for the opportunity to push out across the map, because he does have a much faster lair, so he can try and utilize that to his advantages. I believe he does have, no, never mind. I thought he got roach speed. He hasn't really used anything for that with that lair. It looks like he's going for the Nidus.
He is going for that Nidus. And will this work out? I mean, we've seen how good Ryu's defenses were in that previous game against the Zerglord. And now that he actually has more units, he actually has Spine Crawlers up, eGGz, he's really got to pull something amazing off right now. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. And honestly, I think eGGz has been able to sell this quite well, especially because in game 1 on Oxide, he did go for roach speed, not a Nidus. He's going for a 3rd hatchery, which I believe, yes, Ryu, he does have an inkling on. He does spot. So really, like, he's not aware that this Nidus is even possible. But it is within range. Like, we'll see if Ryu has enough to defend.
And he probably does, but again, we shall see. Ryu with the defender's advantage, the upgrade advantage, as well as the numbers advantage, as well as the ramp advantage. He's just got so many advantages coming out right now, but eGGz, let's see what he's got. Lings do come across and try to cut off this army, and the Queen is helping out a little bit. putting down a couple of transfuses here and there, but eGGz is very much on a timer right now. He has to crush this army and then continue to go forth, and it's not looking too good for a blue Zerg player.
Exactly. Like he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He fought within Spine Rage. He pulls a couple of boys because he has drones to spare, and it looks like there are just too many roaches for Ryu.
GG. And Ryu is on the warpath, Light. He was out of it for weeks. It wasn't even his own. It wasn't even in his control, but now that he's back, he is looking to make someone pay. And that someone is going to be Darking.
Exactly. Darking and Eddie. And you know what? El Condor. He ate the egg.
He did eat the egg.
I don't know if that's what condors do.
He plucked it from the nest or something like that.
He did, and Ryu, he advances on to the grand finals where, as you said, he'll be facing one of two Mexican players. It is going to be Paco Mike or him Rising.